YouTube. This is Vargas XX78 with game 6 of my NES collection. And that game is the infamous Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. If you've ever watched one of the very first video of the Angry Video Game Nerd, you know that he hates this game with a passion. And I have to disagree. When the NES started, all these game companies were starting to introduce their franchises, series that are alive to our day. And the first game that came out on Castlevania by the good people at Konami set up the foundation for what would be the Castlevania series. And all these gaming companies saw that it was a hit, but they didn't want to stagnate these new series and come out with the same game over and over again. Not like nowadays where everything is the same game and sequels and all the like. I feel that they really wanted to change their formulas and experiment with new things. And that's what they did with, look at the sequels for the NES, Super Mario Bros. 2. They changed the formula and allowed for people to choose between 4 characters. Zelda 2, it changed the perspective to a side-scroller, and it introduced RPG elements, and that's the same thing for Castlevania 2. They introduced adventure elements with a little bit of RPG, and these things that you had to explore. And I think, at least now that I'm older, I can see that it was necessary to figure out what worked, what didn't work, and come out with awesome games. If you look at the third parts of the game's trilogies on the NES, the third part was the best because they had the advantage of introducing the formula and then experimenting with the sequel, see what worked, what didn't work, and they came out with incredible games for the third parts. But you have to experiment, and that's the case in Castlevania 2. The company had to experiment and work. So let's see, you can press select here to put a password or game start. Let's game start, and you have Simon Belmont right there. You can talk to people with the B button, and they give you tips. You jump with the A, and you whip with the B. You only talk to people when you're near them. Let's talk to this guy. Okay, let's look out for that guy. Now, this is something I want to make mention of. Back in the NES games, Nintendo have a very strict policy against any sort of religious things. You could not put anything into a Nintendo game that gave a hint of, religious objects. So having this church, clearly it's a church because of the cross, really made the game stand out. So if you go to the church, it builds your life. Now this is something I always have trouble with Castlevania games. Not this time. Go down the stairs. Oh, there's this guy. Now this is something. Hearts are actually your currency. Right now I have 50 hearts, and I need to buy a white crystal. So I'll put yes. And if you press start, it's your inventory. I have no more hearts, so I don't have any more money, but I have the white crystal. So now I gotta get hearts. Okay, so let's go downstairs. Okay. I have trouble with Castlevania stairs, I'm sorry. Let's go adventuring. And here are bad guys. You kill them with your whip. You collect hearts, so now I have 2 hearts. And the hearts help you to get all the items you're gonna need and to get the whip upgrades. The whip you have is the basic whip, and you can even later on get a fire whip. So that's pretty neat, but you have to visit the town and cough up the money to do it. So you kill these skeletons. Gotta get those hearts. And yeah, they're pretty easy to kill in the daytime. One hit usually does all the bad guys in. And this is the infamous night text. Everything goes dark and bam, you're at night. And at night, it's really hard because the bad guys are a lot tougher to deal with. Instead of the one-hit kills, you have to deal with the 2 hits. So you gotta watch out for that. Okay, let's jump. Yeah, okay. This guy targets you whatever you do, so let's keep jumping. Oh, and there's the famous back jump. Makes Castlevania games that much harder. But the soundtrack for Castlevania 2 is pretty nice. You know, so it does have its positives. It's not just bad. Okay, see there it takes 2 kills, 2 whip shots to kill these guys. So So you gotta really watch out when you're adventuring. You gotta get the timing right, so that you do it during the daytime, because the bad guys are no match for you in daytime. So let's go over here. Oop, poison water. Yep. And I got myself stuck. That's nice. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay. And this is another thing that the NES had, is that slowdown when there's a lot of things going on. So let's just kill these guys. Let's put them away. Okay, gotta get those hearts. Okay, let's go back. Let's go down those stairs. Oop. So for the most part, it plays like a Castlevania game. Well, it plays like the first Castlevania game anyway. And here's a town at night. There are no people to talk to. You can't go into any of the doors, and you have to watch out for those bats. But you also have to watch out for these ghouls. These take 4 hits to go down. In a town, you know, if you're going into a town to get healed, but you do it at night, you're pretty much, it's game over for you, because you're gonna get hit. And these things take 4 hits to kill at night, and they only come out at night. So, and you're dead. Okay, so down to the last life. I got no choice but to wait out night and get a daytime. Yep. Die, die, die. Okay, so all I gotta do is just wait until daytime comes along to make the bad guys a little easier. And right now, to go into an inn and heal myself. Okay, there we go. The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. So fade to black, and it's daytime. Bad guys get killed with 1 hit. The bats are gone. The ghouls are gone. You can enter places. And the people are back. In town of Algiba. Okay. So Simon Belmont has pals. Ooh, hot chick. Let's talk to you. Clues to Dracula's riddle are in the town of Alba. I wonder if that's where Jessica Alba came from. Okay, let's go to that church. So up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs. Talk to her. And your life is back up. And in daytime you can go back adventuring, since the bad guys are a lot easier. So in a nutshell, this is Castlevania 2. By a lot of people it's a hated game, but you know, if you're a fan of Castlevania, you'll appreciate it no matter what. And it's just, you know, it's a hate or love game, and I personally like it. As a grown-up, I can appreciate what they were trying to do and what they were going for. And this paved the way for the awesome game that is Castlevania 3, which I'll talk about in another video. In the meantime, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.